Welcome fellow folders to the final part of Kanakoyo's origami hop tutorial. Now if you're watching part 3 then hopefully you managed to fully collapse it and have the base that I have here. Now we're going to be going through how to shape it and basically do that for each of the sections. So probably the wings are the hardest, so I'll leave them till last. And we will first of all, might as well start off with the head because I covered that in a previous video. So we're going to start off with the head. So I'm going to basically show you exactly what I did. I can remember what I did for everything except maybe the wings, but I've got a good idea of how to do them. But they could probably be done many ways, it just depends. So first of all, for the head, I'm going to flip it over so the scales are on the bottom, and these two flaps are extra. We don't need these flaps, so we're just going to fold them as far down as possible, like that. Just crease it, fold it back over, and the same on this one. And just crease that. Again, we're folding down, so basically this point lines up on this blue crease, but it doesn't really fully matter, you won't see it anyway. Now, let me see, I'll puff the eyes out, so I need to get some blue tack. We have blue tack. Now, if you're going to puff out the eyes, you could use what I use, blue tack. It's a sticky substance, very malleable. You just roll it into the size you want and then stuff it inside. You could use like crumpled up tissue paper, even like something hard, like a round object that could be the same size, but personally this is the easiest because you can make it as big or as small as you want, and then you can go from there. So I would definitely recommend some blue tack. Now the thing is, when you puff out eyes doing this, it's important that you get them the same size or as close as possible. So let me just see, I think that'll be fine, that'll be a good size. So that's basically the reference for this one here. That's the first one, so we need to try and make one the same. Also, even if you have like micro scales, you could just weigh it out. That would probably be easier. I mean, that may come in handy in the future. I might get a set, in fact I probably will get a set. A really fine digital scales. So for the sake of the video, I'm not going to try and correct them, but I'm just going to use them as is. Maybe the right ones are slightly too big. So it's just a matter of taking a bit off, rolling up to a ball, and then seeing if they look the same size. Yeah, I mean they look fine to me. And then it's important that you try and get them as close to the same size as possible. Now, so we've got the eyes, they are ready. Yeah, first of all I'm just going to fold this layer. I'm just going to fold this edge to this edge on this side, so I don't need to reverse it. Just like that. You can do it this way first to get it accurate and then reverse it, but and again it's entirely up to you. So like that. So this part is going to be the bottom of the body. When we puff it out, you'll see this part. Again, it's important that when I started the pre-creasing, when I said don't make that other diagonal, this part goes right through the bottom of the body, it goes right through the top of the head, through the scales, and then through the top part as well. So it's important to try and keep it as clean as possible. So we've done that. So again, we have the bottom of the mouth, the bottom of the beak, top of the beak, and then the eyes here and here. So first of all, we're just going to pull the eyes down so we can make like a mountain fold, maybe just under where this one is, and you can try it here, there first. So I'll probably fold it down a bit more, because the more you fold it down, the more of the beak you will see, so I may actually go a bit more. So that's basically the length of the beak, and you could probably pull it out as well to create a bit of extra length. That could work. And now we have a pocket in here that we can put the eyes in on each side. I'll just correct this, it's not perfectly straight. And also don't make this a really strong crease, like don't do what I did, just because you want it to be as naturally as round as possible. Now we're going to stuff the eyes, so it would probably be easiest to just open up. And don't worry if parts come fully undone. So now we have opened up. I'm pressing down with my middle finger on the right hand and the thumb on the left to make sure it's perfectly flat. Now I want to try and insert this to the centre as close as possible. So again, first of all, make sure it's perfectly round, and then I'm just going to try and I'm just going to drop it in first, put my finger on it, then flip it around, and then just try and slightly move it. I'm feeling where it is, and if you can see that, I'm happy that it feels in the centre. So I'm going to try and press it enough so it comes unstuck from my finger inside, which it has. Now I'm just going to push up and then form it around it. Again, it's important to try and not have any extra, you don't want any folds like this going. You don't want to have any, you want it to be as clean as possible, so you don't want any creases, any solid creases over it. And then once you're happy with it, collapse it all back together, and this is where you would basically mush fold around it. So that is basically one eye done. Now I'm going to do the exact same on the left hand side, so let me zoom out. And same again, I'm going to open it up completely, press down just to make sure it is perfectly flat, flip it around, drop it inside, yep, slip it in there perfectly. And just, if I need to, try and pull the layers apart. And try and get it in the centre as best as possible. Now I'm happy with that, I'm going to just let go of it and then just form it around. So like that. That's actually better than the first one, I think. Yeah, it looks a lot more rounder on the left one. So we're just going to form it all back together as best as possible. So I'm just going to put these creases back in place. We're fine, we're good. Now I need tweezers for this part. Now we want to insert this eye inside this part. So it's just a matter of trying to, first of all, bring all the layers to the right hand side. So we basically have this part here, so all the layers are going to the right. And basically just fold it over So I've basically just folded it down. You can imagine it's a 90 degree crease. Folding it down, and then I'm going to open up this part, and then I'm going to grab the top layer and then insert it. This is where you probably need to, oops, it's folding over itself. You just need to play about, try and insert it inside, push it, just adjust it. And tweezers come in handy with this. If you need more paper, just pull some down. Use that to help push the eye inside. Now what I did, no pun intended, what I did was then glue. Well, once I was ready to glue, I added glue just on the inside here and on the outside, on this part here, where that yellow, the orange line is. And then, if I can get it, I basically stuck them together like that, so I wouldn't go out of place, and then just formed it around. And you basically have the eye. So that's what I did. And then it's just a matter of trying to make it look neat. If it's messy, try and neaten it up. So we're just going to do the same on this side. So all the layers to the left this time. Just going to fold down, open up, and then just try and insert the eye. It may take a few attempts to get it right, but this is a good way of doing it. And again, you don't even need to fill it up, puff out the eyes. It's entirely up to you. I wanted to do it because I wanted big eyes, and to me, eyes are becoming a very common and popular thing in models now. So it seems nice to do it as well. It makes it look more alive, personally. So we have that. Now, let me see. Yes, for the bottom of the beak, we just fold this part down, sort of curve it out like that. Probably just need to try and hide some of this excess paper. So I'm just going to fold some inside like that, because I want to try and reduce some of the paper for the beak. We can always just perform like a little swivel fold right here, like that, just to try and hide some of the excess paper. So like that, and then it's a matter of just rounding it off and then trying to make it the same length in a way. So you could even do something like that. That's nice, having the top come over the bottom. So that would work. But again, it's entirely up to you how you want to shape it, etc. You just need to play about with it and then go from there. So that's basically the head done. I've gave you the full breakdown of how I done it, and then it's just a matter of if you want to replicate it or do all these creases first, all these moves, and then add your own touches. So that is the head done. Now we're going to look at the legs, which are all here. So with the legs, when you fold the body over, and you fold it in half, they'll look like that. So what I did was just sink some of these excess layers. So I'm not going to do it for both sides because there's probably quite a few. First of all, I just hold it like this. I'll just do the right side. Basically just bisectors all the way. Lots of sinks. We want to try and make these the claws as small as possible so we can add the right amount of detail. Oh, how's it like that? So like that. That's the first one. And then we're just going to fold it down. And then you may need to adjust some of the layers to try and get it out of the way. So we have done that, so we've got to do the same for this one. So just fold it here and here. You will, because you're doing it on both sides, you will create gussets right here, because when you do that, it'll hit. So don't worry about that. Perfectly fine. And then trying to close sync. You can open sync, close sync, it doesn't even matter one bit. And there we go. So yeah, a close sync is much easier than that. Now we're going to fold that part down, flip over, and we're just going to do the same with these two layers. So we may need to fold it, because it's like this, we can't sync it. So we're going to need to fold it over and fold them straight up, like that. And then we have the two layers separated. I'm just going to fold this part over so I can open it up fully. And then the same again. So all the way down. Back a bit there, let me see. Yeah, we'll do that. I think that would probably go too far. How did I do this last time? Yeah, I'm going to angle it instead. No, wait. Could do it as a close sync. So fold it like this. Probably be easier. Can't remember exactly what I did. Something like that. So it's just a matter of sinking the extra layers as best you can. Okay. I may need to mush fold this. So I'm not going to actually sync it as I was just about to do. I'm just going to fold it down as normal. So we have the two layers here. I'm just going to fold the first one down. And then the second one inside this pocket right here. Like that. So it's definitely much easier and cleaner to do than syncing. Now fold this part back over, and this part is extra as well, so you can just sync this inside. Fold it like that. Just tuck it underneath. Oh wait, yeah, you need to fold it inside. But anyway, we'll get to that. So you'd fold it back over as normal. then if you can see the difference, we had all these extra layers and now we have got all of them halved, and it's just a matter of forming it to be a claw. So you pull back one at the back, 3 at the front. Like that. Because if we fold it over, we'll have the right position. So we have 3 at the front and 1 at the back, and then it's just adding crimps to give it a nice curve. Also, I can't do it in this because it's quite small. So basically you're just adding crimps to make it nice and curvy. And that is basically the legs. Next we are going to do the bottom part. Now on the designer's fold he had 4 pleats. So it'd be like mountain, valley, mountain, valley, mountain, valley, mountain, valley. 4 of them on each side. I'm not entirely sure how many an actual hawk has. You can look at one, if it has more you can make more. If not, then just do 4. So it's basically just making a mountain fold, then folding it over. I may get a bit messy, I'll probably get messy up here because this is where the creases will stop. They won't fully go all the way, they won't lie perfectly. Plus this part will hide it. So you're just doing 4 pleats, that's 1. Or again you can do as much as you want. That's 2. And there's also extra paper here as well, so you can even do more. So it's taking up quite a bit of space. So we basically have 4 there already, 1, 2, 3 and 4. The 4th one is the edge of the paper. And again you can pull it out to make it wider, to create more. Again, entirely up to you. That's basically how you would do the bottom part. Now for the scales, if you've ever shaped Ryujin or had to do something with scales, you probably know how to do it already. I'll only do like 2 or 3. So first of all, we want to pull apart the paper like that, so it pops up. I won't fully lie flat like that, so we need to make it flat by bringing it down. And then we're going to close it, and then 1 layer will go to the left, 1 will go to the right. So I'm going to open it up like that, and then just squash it, or flatten it. Again, try and have it as neat as possible. I'll do the same for here and here, which will allow me to shape these 2. So same again, pulling out the paper, making it flat, and then just folding it over. Don't worry if it's not perfect anyway, because we will be adjusting them, like this one here, that's not perfect. And then once more. This is where your little tools come in handy to help do this. Let's try and adjust this one. So there we go. We have done 3 sets. First one, second and third. Now we are just going to grab the top and then pull up like that. See how the layer is moving up? Not all the way, not right to the corner. We're leaving a good little bit of paper. Like that. See how it doesn't go all the way to the very bottom, but we've left a bit here, like a few millimeters. I'm just going to fold it down. Same on this one. Like that. And then I'll just do the same on the other two. I'm only going to shape one set, not three of them. Because shaping scales is now illegal, so I can't be caught doing this. Like that. And they don't all need to be the same size because it's feathers that we're making. It's good to have them like an abstract way, different for everyone. Now that we have this, I think I'll just shape the center ones. Normally you would fold it over and then pull the paper apart, but we can't because we have quite a lot happening here and it's blocking our view. So what I did was just open it up. Open it up. And then we need to make this valley fold here a mountain fold. Mountain, mountain, mountain fold. We need to make these a mountain fold. So I may just stick my finger in and you can see it more clearer. We have mountain, 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 mountain. So we'll do the left hand side first. So that's the left hand side. Now just the right hand side. Again, try and have it as neat as possible. Now we need to push this part in and this point in, and then have mountain fold, mountain fold. I can't remember how it's supposed to go. I've actually completely forgotten how this collapses. I had to quickly do the first one off camera just to remind myself how to do it. So you're making these the mountain folds, and then you're just pushing in, and then this part comes down. It's easier to do it the way you would do it for the Ryujin, but you don't have the privilege this time. And these won't be super neat, but yours should be better than mine. So like that. And then you would just do the exact same for the rest of them, which I'm not going to do. But we'll manage it. Now the final part is the wings. So if we fold it over, and I think I collapsed it like this at the end of the video, and at the end of the collapsing. But what I did was fold it the other way, because like this, we have this layer restricting the movement of these pleats, whereas this way we don't. We use it to our advantage, and then we can do that. So let me see, what side did I make? Yeah, it's this side. These are the pleats. So I'm going to shape the left hand side. So there's a few ways you can do this. Trying to think of what I did first. And you could do something like that. So it's a matter of just adjusting the layers on the plates. You don't need to worry too much about how much you pull it apart, you can always adjust it later on. Let me just see. That could work. I think that's what the designer did, because he had the big parts at the edge where I had the small parts. So again, that could work. Now let me see what I did. I think I just pulled it the other way. So we want to try and get the position that we want first, and then we undo what we just did, and then make the pleat. So yeah, this is what I did. So yeah, I'll just do what I did so I know what I'm doing. So we're pulling apart. Let me show you what we had first. Oh wait. So first of all, we're pulling the layer over. Like that. That. I'm just going to fold this part over. I'm not worrying if it's neat or not, because it won't get seen. And then we're just doing the exact same with the thin ones. Yeah, I'll actually adjust this one first. I'm just going to keep the original creases on top. I may need to readjust them. This is probably the most annoying part, because again, there's no right or wrong on how you do it. You just spread them until you're happy before we can continue. So I'm going to spread all the layers first, and then try to bring the wings over the body to get that nice position. And then, yeah, we're at the bottom, so that's all the wings, all the pleats on the wings done, and then it's, in a way, we are, so I need to make sure it's all, a good thing to do is, once you've done these pleats, basically hold it here, so they're all in place, and then just try and force it flat here, because we want to, in a way, make a mountain fold and then a valley fold to bring the layer over. So probably easier just to do it flat. Yeah, this is what I did. And then, because this part doesn't have any, just keep it flat and then adjust the creases to it. Because we want to try and make it one fluid set of pleats. Because there's none here, we need to just hide that part. So, I think we're happy with the top. And it's important that once you have the right position, you want to make them strong. so they don't come out of place. So it's just a matter of constantly readjusting them whenever you can. I just need to pull these ones again. So, like this. Now we went from this to this, which is a really good. Now what the designer has is 2 sets of pleats. What you would need to do here is think of where you would want to add them. So basically I'll do it on this side. Just as an example, you would have that, then you would basically put it back to normal and then go like that. You would decide where you want the pleat, the first one to be. You'd unfold it and you'd open it all the way up and then make mountain and valley fold all the way. Close it back, reform it to this. So that's what we're going to do. Because I already made it, it's much easier. I never did this when I made mine. I had to do this, make them, then I realised, this length was different. It was either bigger or smaller, so it didn't look right, so I had to go back and readjust it. It's so much easier now to just make it beforehand. So what we're going to do is just open it up and remember where it is that you want the pleat. So yeah, so can't even remember where. Let me check my phone. Let me see the designer's fold to see which side the pleat is should be facing. So give me 1 second. Yes, so if I hold this, hold it like that, and then the mountain fold will come down the way. Yep. Okay, so the bottom one will be the mountain fold, valley, mountain, and valley. So we're going to do that. So I'm basically just going to open up all the paper. And I'll just do 2 at once. You're just going to make a mountain fold through that layer, follow all along, and this is much easier than trying to make it by hand because it's really tricky to have it straight. That's quite annoying. So we have done the first one. Now I'm just going to go over this way. Do the second. And then I'm just going to pleat it. Just going to fold up on that valley fold. I don't know why I never did this the first time. I'll just sink that in. It's definitely going to be, from the looks of it, much neater than what I did the first time, before mine. But you'll see all that when I upload the actual video. So that is just this side here. So that is the first pleat done. I mean, it looks quite a mess, which it is. Now we're just going to do the exact same. I think I'll just lower it a little bit. So they will be quite close, these ones, but I don't think it matters too much. Let me see on this side. Yeah, that's up more. So I'll probably just bring this side down a wee bit. I'll form it first and then readjust. Like that. I'm just trying to correctly use these valley folds. Yeah, this is definitely much neater than mine. So I have that. So I'm just going to pull them down just to create a bit more of a gap between them. I don't want them to be too close. And once you do that, we're just going to reform all the creases. So again, start to put them back in place. Almost. Do this. You won't need to worry too much about this part. This is like your diffuser in a way. I'll just do that. I'll just do that so it lies flat. On the mountain fold. I think we're almost here. Yeah, for the sake of the video, I'm just going to mush fold this part. And then I think we have all of them back in place to their rightful positions. Yep, that part's getting mush folded. So now we have this. We're back to this position, but we have the pleats in place. So there's a difference in height wise. Now we're going to fold it back to how we did before. And then you're just going to, yeah, we can hide this layer in the body. Yeah, I'll come back to that. So same again, we are just going to pull the layers over. Oh yeah, I'm doing the wrong side, aren't I? Yep, wrong way. And then again, we're just going to form the pleats back in the position we had before we unfolded it to put these in place. And it takes quite a bit of time to try and get these neat, and it takes a lot of adjusting. So really take your time on this part. so, like that. Now I'm just going to I'm going to put it as flat as possible in this position first before I make the last set of creases. So I want to try and get it as neat as possible. That's the plan here. We'll go with this. Now it's basically a mountain fold and valley fold to bring it over. And again, these pleats are probably too low down. They could probably be up here, so we have more paper to make these moves. So we'll just do that. So they're definitely too low down because the paper shouldn't be affecting this part. Like that. So if you look at the designer's fold, he has two sets of pleats, which we have here. Get rid of this part. Yeah, we can fold this part inside. That should give us a bit more room. Even though it looks messy, it's a work in progress to get it how you want it to look. And then it's just a matter of either folding the parts underneath up or folding them inside. So you do that all the way around, and then with the pleats you would do the exact same. You probably just fold it up to create a nice edge. You do that all the way around, all the way for the first set of pleats and for the second. And then you repeat it all again on the right hand side. Now, just a matter of hiding these excess layers on the body, so we can fold this part inside. Because we want to try and get a nice round body, which already looks much better than having this part out. So it's playing about with the layers, folding them in, seeing how it looks, to try and get them how you want it to be. And let me see, we have this one as well, so we'll fold this part inside. Wait, should I? No, I'll keep it out actually, keep it out. I'll actually do that. Fold it at a nice angle. Because what I did at the very end was basically glue this part to this part, which creates the full body, and then it allows you to open up the inside to stuff it out, puff it up, and then it's just a matter of like rounding the body, so just adding tiny crimps to create a roundness. And then obviously this side. So when you puff it out, you have a nice, even round body. And it gets tucked inside, gets glued, and then that's basically it. You pull the legs down, and then you shape them to how you want it to be. And that is it, that is the shaping tutorial. I know it wasn't fully detailed, but I did show you how to shape absolutely everything. And it's just a matter of playing about with it, adding your own touches, shape how you want to shape, and try to get the result that you want to aim for and get in. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I hope you managed to make this if you have any questions, let me know in the comments, send me a message to one of my pages and I'll reply as soon as possible. And make sure if you did manage to fold it, then share your fold, tag me on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, because I would love to see your attempts. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.